It looks like Sungwoo and his minions will not have to do too much here. King threw some of the branches of his tree into the devil's pathways, and it closed them right away. A notification popped up informing them that the world's power is forcefully shutting down the devil's pathways. Hanho was super pumped up for his performance today, but it looks like his moment to shine is going away. Sungwoo gets a grab of one of the branches and he is wondering how he could close the vicious devil's pathways so easily. King informs him that the tree branches contain the mountain energy. It allows a person to close the opening of the gate if they have the title of a guardian. Sungwoo asks him if he knew the situation would turn out like this. King replies by saying that he knew it to some extent. He discovered something right after he received the title of King of the Great Mountain Range. Through the mountain energy, he found out about a being called the World Eater that eats up the land. Their goal seems to be absorbing living beings on this land. Plus, he already knew that the World Eater didn't like him, so he was keeping an eye out to see if that guy would stick his head out. Sungwoo asks him about the true identity of the World Eater. King says, to put it simply, he is a god. More like a god from another world. Sungwoo is thinking that this god must be the ruler of the Devil's Cave. Plus, this Devil's Cave thing is also related to the #1 ranker Han Kang-seok. Maybe this game is based on battles among more than 3 individuals including Earth. King says that in simple worlds it's like one world trying to eat another, or maybe this is some sort of karmic bond that the system has created. Maybe even the system itself wants a somewhat fair match, since it made rules that would make it fair. Like the world's energy, the thing that's stopping World's Eater direct intervention. Hanho and Jisoo-yun come to the conclusion that they are just like the Evolution Society. Their reason for making this world their subordinate would be the same one. Since they can't exhibit the power on their own, they will have to use multiple puppets. King grabs something from his inner pocket to show it to everyone. King pulls out a prophecy stone from his pocket. Without wasting any time, they quickly activate the prophecy stone. The prophecy stone connects them to the world bad ending #2. Sungwoo appears somewhere in the sky. He is right outside the Earth, watching it from the space. Sungwoo says that it looks like same even after the fall, only the part where light doesn't reach is locked in darkness. After some time he finds out that there is something on the border of that darkness, and it looks like a face looking down on Earth. After a few minutes, some magma-type entity approaches Earth. A notification pops up telling them that the world lost the upper hand, and the World Eater is approaching. The World Eater is shattering the Earth bit by bit. Everything, including humans and their souls, disappeared, only leaving behind an eternal end. A notification pops up telling them that this is the future that will happen once all of the world's energy scattered around is destroyed. With a bright flash of light, Sungwoo and others come back to the present. Sungwoo is literally shivering in fear of this eternal end. Sungwoo asks King about how they can stop this bad ending. King says that they need to think about it from the perspective of the World Eater, like what would be the best way to destroy the energy and life force dispersed on this land. King points to Righty as he says the undead, wouldn't they be spreading an infectious disease called death, which opposes that energy? Even the Evolution Society was researching death, but King assures him saying that you stop them by risking death yourself. King further asks him about a powerful being that is against the World Eater that has taken root on this land, and it can influence the land itself. Sungwoo says that it must be the World Tree. King says that you got this right. The last time he checked, Sungwoo was taking good care of it. Death Knight interrupts Sungwoo, saying that he has something important to tell him right now. The remaining number of Dragon Sword days have been filled, and the qualification for hatching the egg are complete. Sungwoo gets a hold of the Dragon Sword as it is radiating with power. A notification pops up informing him that the sword's name changed to Dominator Sword. It's now a 2-handed mythic rank sword. It increases physical strength by 10 points. It ignores some of the target's defense effect by 20%. Its description says that this sword is a key that can wake a dragon up, and it's a symbol of a leash that can control the dragon. Sungwoo is the owner of this sword, and through his deeds a new name will be given to it. Sungwoo asks them about the dragon egg. The dragon egg will hatch within 47 hours and 59 minutes. Sungwoo is not sure what he will feed the dragon once it hatches. He has never raised a pet, and he is not a dragon knight either, so he don't know anything. Since the griffin rider Lee Yan raised a griffin, she could be of help. If things don't work out well, then they can just hand over the childcare to her. Sungwoo says that it's time to get back to Suwon Town, and Jisoo-yun asks him about what they should do about this person. There were 3 people watching the fight of Sungwoo with the salamander. She caught one, but the other 2 escaped. Sungwoo tells them to tie him up properly and take him with them. He will interrogate him after dealing with the urgent things first. After a few hours they arrive back in Suwon. The whole city is going through a construction boom, and Spearman Kyung-soo informs Sungwoo that the job of Mr. Muyeon from Gangwado Island is High Architect. It's a job class that allows for automatic construction, so he don't thinks that they will have any issues even with the wall's development. Sungwoo asks him that the world is getting bigger and bigger and don't they require more personnel. Spearman Kyung-soo says that they don't have problems with that thanks to the small groups of people Sungwoo saved from the North Korean server. Sungwoo is thinking that he is no longer required in running the town and he should just focus on what he can do. The world tree is growing by each hour, and its aura is covering more and more area. Sungwoo placed the dragon end in front of the world tree. He is thinking that if it hatches, then one of the conditions for the mythic quest, Origin of the Race, will be fulfilled. World tree is right now on growth stage 1 and it has grown up to 41%. Sungwoo is thinking that it is a bummer that the world tree is just at growth stage 1. He don't know how many stages it has, but it's going to take a lot of time until the final one. Until then, he will focus on maintaining the dragon. Sungwoo asks Lee Yeon about the dragon food, and she is a bit confused after hearing this question. She used to feed some cut-up monster meat to her griffin, and she says that maybe Sungwoo can do the same for the dragon. She further informs him that things like satisfaction and nutrition status will pop as messages to the master of the pet. Plus, the pets are a bit rowdy bunch, as they could destroy the surroundings. Sungwoo comes to the conclusion that he might need some experts. That is why he brought in specialists from each category. Mr. Muyeon, who will build a cradle for the baby dragon. Mr. Muyeon says that he has seen what it was like raising Stormy the griffin, so he will make it spacious and sturdy. Hanho's mother will take care of the dragon baby food. Hanho's mom says that she will make some soft food since the stomach of the newborns is weak. She further mocks Hanho by saying that they must at least raise the baby dragon as a nice and well-behaved child, although she failed to do it for Hanho. Sungwoo looks at the dragon egg with great expectations as he has prepared everything for him, so he tells the dragon egg to hatch quickly. After a few days, the whole Suwon town is gathered around the world tree for an exciting event. The townfolk want to watch the hatching of the egg up close, but Spearman Kyung-soo tells them to move away since it could be dangerous. There is only 1 minute and 48 seconds left till the egg hatching. Hanho says that it's like watching an unexploded bomb disposal work. He says that maybe they are making a mistake, and some ancient devil that resembles him can come out of that thing. Finally, cracks start to appear on the dragon egg as Sungwoo watches it in anticipation. All of a sudden, the egg explodes with a loud boom. A little creature resembling a dragon baby can be seen after the explosion. The dragon baby is cute, and it just opened its eyes for the first time. The townfolk think that the baby is gorgeous as well, but they were expecting something mean-looking. Sungwoo is worried about the dragon kid's temper since it burst out of the egg, unlike normal hatchings. A notification pops up informing everyone that a noble being is born in the Korean server. The black dragon hatchling has learned magic through his owner. Their race has amazing magic intelligence, so there is a chance of acquiring a higher rank. Through instinctive application, the dragon can also learn more powerful magic. Sungwoo is quite amazed to hear that since the dragon can learn the magic of his owner, and now they have 3 liches just in one faction. Hanho's mom prepared a special baby formula for the dragon baby. Sungwoo serves the dragon hatchling his first meal, but he has quite the temper, and he brushes it away using his tail, and the meal lands on Hanho's face. Hanho's mom is worried since the dragon has quite a temper, and Hanho says that the dragon you worried would resemble me is here. Sungwoo then serves the special Korean fried chicken, as he thinks that no one in Korea can dislike this. Dragon hatchling smells it, and he looks a little bit interested in it, and Ji-soo-yoon says that maybe dragons love meat, but instead of eating it, dragon hatchling enslaves the poor fried chicken as his minion. Everyone in Suwon town is now sure that the dragon hatchling resembles Sungwoo more than anything. A few hours pass by as the townsfolk try to feed the dragon, but most of the food served to him ends up as his minions. Ji-soo-yoon says that the dragon hatchling turned all the food that had bones into skeletons, while Hanho is wondering why the dragon is dancing, or maybe he is performing an incantation chant. Ji-soo-yoon says that it is a relief that the hatchling eats the baby food when he gets tired of playing. Hatchling comes to Sungwoo, and he thinks that maybe the hatchling wants him to carry him. Sungwoo picks up the dragon baby and it looks super cute like a pet cat. He is not named yet. He is a stage 1 black dragon hatchling. His owner is Sungwoo, and his status shows that he is very healthy. After a few minutes, Sungwoo gets tired of this caretaking thing. He don't know what the dragon hatchling exactly wants, but he needs to handle him as if he is raising a little human baby. He would be an incredibly strong ally, but all he does for now is turn chicken and fish into bloodkin. Dragon Baby throws a tantrum as he kicks Sungwoo in the face, and Hanho asks Sungwoo if he has thought of a name for it. Sungwoo has not given a thought to it, and Hanho says that this super cute baby deserves a name. Sungwoo asks Hanho if he wants to name him, and Hanho says that he will think of something cool. All of a sudden, Dragon Baby starts looking up as something gets his attention. It turns out that he got attracted to the voice of some random birds flying near them. Dragon Hatchling activates a skill called Dragon Fear. It stiffens living beings that have low level and intelligence. At the same time, all birds start coughing up blood and falling down. Sungwoo is thinking that maybe the Dragon Hatchling used that ability subconsciously. Now Sungwoo is sure that this Dragon Baby is definitely going to be useful, and it's worth the effort to raise it. During nighttime, Spearman Kyung-soo comes to Sungwoo to inform him that the captive from Pyongyang has died. He ingested some poison he hid behind his teeth. It seems like he wanted to avoid giving away useful information. Sungwoo asks Spearman Kyung-soo if the captive was a spy, and Kyung-soo informs him that Hanho went through his belongings and said that the captive seemed to be Chinese. Sungwoo says that it can't be helped now. He raises the dead captive as his minion to get the information from his corpse. After reviving him, Sungwoo checks his memory fragment. Sungwoo opens his eyes in a snowfield, and it does not look like it's in Korea. One of the Chinese players says that he never thought he would be in the middle of Siberia, while the other one says that what are those guys doing in a place like this? The female player says that they are hunters, and they are on a hunt. Player asks about what they are hunting, and the female player says anything. A player asks if the emperor wants to go beyond the continent and embrace even the tribes of remote areas like this. The female player replies by saying no, the emperor does not have the time to care about these things, since he will soon conquer Chinese server number 2 and fulfill the world's unification. Sungwoo now knows well that these guys are the subordinates of the self-proclaimed emperor who conquered Chinese number 1 server. The female player says that this is not the emperor's plan, but it's an order from General Xing. The general had mobilized barbaric outlanders and ordered them to put the Korean server to sleep. The male player says so the general wants to put them against one another, while the female player says that it's not just the Russian server, and he is also trying to cooperate with the Monster King in the North Korean server. The Korean server is strangely trending too much, so they need to move the barbaric outlanders and smash the Korean server. Sungwoo is thinking that he already expected threats from mainland China, but he did not think they would start a diplomatic warfare like this. All of a sudden, the Chinese players get engulfed in a snowstorm. The female player orders her comrades to stay still, or they will get wiped away. After a few minutes, they spot some figures in the distance. These figures turned out to be huge bears. The Chinese players become stunned with fear. They are not sure if they are beastmen or the brave tigers that evolved from monsters. A human player seems to be with them, and he comes forward. It turns out that this old man is the number 1 ranker of the Russian server. He is Druid, the devil of Siberia. Druid says that you guys stink, and the Chinese players warn him to not be so much arrogant to them. Female player says that they came to make a request. Druid flares up as he says that he knows those humans who smell like this have obvious purposes. He tells them to just say the amount and the target that needs to be taken care of, and then get lost. The flashback ends with this last scene. Hanho asks Sungwoo if it is over, and if there are other people planning to invade them. Sungwoo says he is correct, and this time he is happy because they are people he knows about as well. Meanwhile, at the headquarters of the Liberation Guild, Prosecutor is quite pissed at the system for something. It turns out that he got a special exclusive quest. It's an assassination type quest, and its title says do not repeat the same mistake. Its goal is to eliminate Sungwoo. As a reward, rank points will be given to him. The fallen world will pour out into the Korean server, and the arrogant evil being Sungwoo will appear in the midst of the chaos. When the time is right and have him killed by the monster army, this is a command. On disobeying this command, your rank points will be deducted. If accumulated, you may be removed from various faction benefits. In addition, an all-stat decrease penalty will be given to all members. This penalty will rank up as more time passes. It turns out that it was an old quest, and the prosecutor failed it. A penalty is given to all of his faction members, and their stats have decreased by 1 point, and it will keep stacking. Prosecutor is regretting his choice of joining the Angel faction, and he should not have believed that the Angel faction means good, just like because they are good in fairy tales.